get. Having said that, one thing I'm being very strategic about is systematizing the audience, Cody. So, like I mentioned, I am the sort of most popular with youth of color.
Yeah.
Africa, Latin America, Asia,
Yeah.
not even African American as much as like Africa, so
Yeah.
so I mean, I think those are my people. I am going 500 miles an hour towards them, and the numbers are what the numbers are, and the algorithm is what it is. And I think at the end of the day, I can't get too obsessed with that, because if you think about it, I mean, there's millions and millions of internet users. To be honest, I should have 800 million followers. I guess no one does.
Right.
From that angle, I've sort of given up on that fight, right? So it's this idea that I will have what I have, and I think then my job is more like the nerd and industrial engineer in me, where I'm like, but I need to monetize this properly, right?
Also, everybody, welcome back to the CVMK show, because it is what it is. And you're listening to the best podcast. Where else would you listen to? Where else can you get business influence, strategy, marketing, faith, politics, and overall just amazing entertainment than no other than the CVMK show? That's why you got to subscribe. Hit the like button, share, comment. CVMK on YouTube. Hit us up on the gram. It is what it is _show. And guys, I want you to go there. I'm telling you, CVMK Global is exploding. We're over 30,000 followers now. I need you to go there. CVMK _global, where the best supplements are. But look, in this episode, we're going to be covering how to create engaging content, because we need to know, right? Like, content is king. They say content is king, but engagement is queen. And so I asked somebody who I think, really specializes in this, focuses on this. Obviously, she's the CEO, of DAS Media Group. She has mastered the realm of consistency and content engagement. So please welcome, she's been on the show before, but she's amazing, an amazing leader who you need to connect with, Shinjini Das. Shinjini, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Cody. Thank you so much for just always being so amazing, and just a friend. You're amazing. I love growing with you. I love feeling that go-getter energy with you.
Appreciate it. No, it is absolutely my pleasure. Thank you again for being on the show, because I know how busy you are. And look, one of the things that I think has to be said when it comes to this, it's really about the energy that you apply to it, right? Because sometimes, we like to go for the home runs, be like, man, if I just get an amazing video and I get some amazing effects, everybody's going to follow me and everything's going to explode. But the reality is that's not most of the time the case. One video doesn't make you a star, and engagement, depending on what you're trying to market, will vary. So I'm going to first start here, right? I see you post a lot. I think sometimes brands and businesses don't understand the balance between consistency and, I would say, actual engaging content. What is that healthy balance?
Yeah, this is a great question, Cody. I think I would even add another variable, Cody, which is volume, right?
Okay.
So it's this idea that there is such a thing as you don't have enough content, and I know in the beginning, I definitely was told that by some people, even like 4 years ago, and I took that advice and realized that they're onto something. And so I think there is such a thing as you have to have a certain volume of content,
Sure.
but at the same time, I don't think you need to be posting every day. I don't think that you need to be posting every other day. I think it is this idea of when you have something to say, when you have an interesting thought, if you have, an epiphany, I think that should be sort of posted. But you're right. I mean, I think there is such a thing as content fatigue. There is such a thing as brand fatigue. There is such a thing as celebrity fatigue. So you and I both know of celebrities who are everywhere. I see them at like multiple events in a day and multiple events in a week. And honestly, I don't know, maybe growing up that was attractive. And I think me today, literally, I ask myself, like, are they poor? Because, why are they doing so much, And they are so, well known and they're older. So I think things have changed now where I think the focus is quality.
Yeah.
With a healthy dose of quantity,
I like that. So the focus is quality with a healthy dose of quantity, because I think you're absolutely right. And not to name names, but I think there's overkill or an overload of just so much. Like sometimes you just get tired of like this person is posting again. Like, nobody's life is that great. And
Yeah.
to the point, I think it creates or it adds to the level of doubt. That's
Yeah.
what it does, right? I won't say that people get tired of one's trajectory or one's presence. I think it's the product or the person is no longer believable because life varies, and to have these amazing moments all the time now looks choreographed, right? It doesn't
Exactly.
look organic and it doesn't look raw. So when we talk about that organic appeal, and this is
Yes.
something that I think is a hidden gem. Brands, or not brands, but consumers want to see themselves in the product, not like in a false way, like I was saying with the 90s and the early 2000s, right? Not like Michael Jordan on a Wheaties box, right? Like I can fly, not like that, but I mean like something that speaks to what their values, right? Like who they are, intangible. How do you go about creating that organic appeal to your end user?
Yeah, great question. And I think also, there is, I mean, I'll talk, Cody, about the influencers and celebrities that I have followed and loved.
Sure.
I think if there's too much going on, if they promote every product ever, right? If they are on every show ever, it's just overwhelming to me as a fan, even as a, beloved fan, meaning like I love them. I think they're great. But I'm overwhelmed, it's just too much going on. So I think it is this thing of because I think every brand also should have this perception, Cody, that when they post, when they come out with a new product, if you are an influencer, you do a brand partnership, you do a brand sponsorship, that it should mean something, Cody. And I think that if you are everywhere with everyone all the time, I mean, it's not possible for everything to mean something, I think, so I think that's kind of my take on that. So I just wanted to say that. The next question you are talking about is sort of creating that organic appeal.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, Cody, as a human being, again, whether you are a celebrity, influencer, brand, all of the above,
Sure.
You have to have that deep, authentic relationship with yourself. And I think I'm at the point now where any like person who starts talking, I can very easily figure out if they love themselves, if they are in a good place, if they're happy, if like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can't fake any of that. So I think basically if you want to authentically connect with someone else, you have to authentically connect with yourself first, And I think the camera catches everything, So I think that people who are not in a good place with themselves, I mean, I think it's really hard for them to build a brand. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you hit upon something. I think it's you cannot build on what doesn't already exist. And
Right.
so when there's a lack of foundation,
Yeah.
within the person, not just the
Yes.
product itself, but the person.
Yes. Yes.
People will see it.
Yes.
A filter cannot hide the
Yes.
truth of who that individual is, right?
Exactly.
Camera angles can't evaporate. And even with all the special effects, and there's a lot of cool things out there, it can't do away from the actual truth of that there is something that is missing
Yes.
from the message. And I feel like
Yes.
social media
Mm.
is shifting away from what I would say heavy personality approach to heavy purpose approach. Right? Like,
Wow.
do I align? Because in reality, one could argue we're all doing the same thing. But what separates, right?
Yeah.
What really brings about this granular separation is the purpose. I would say the ethos behind whatever that organization or whatever that entity is all about, right? And that's what people buy. People want to connect on a larger scale. And since everything is becoming more decentralized, you know, the mega stars, first of all, there are no more mega stars. Well, I mean, there's a select few, but I mean, like, new rise, there's hotness, but as far as like Michael Jackson level, that doesn't exist, right? Like, so and it's just, at least in my opinion, like, I don't see anybody eclipsing, maybe tying, you know, like we have those that are maybe in that orbit, but eclipsing, I just don't see it. So it can't be that driven, right? So for you, as a media exec, as the CEO of your own organization, what has been your, I would say, shift, right? Like, what has been your pivot point, and particularly as we go into this new year?
Yeah. I just want to say something, because I'm hearing a lot of this even from like India is Bollywood, you know, America's Hollywood.
Yeah.
I kind of disagree, right? So I think this idea of there are no megastars, I think it just depends on the person, you know, because I think there are certain individuals and personalities who have the, first of all, raw ability of a Michael Jackson, of an Oprah, of a Barack Obama, you know. So I don't think it's going away, because I think if you have that level of ability and that level of charisma as an Elvis, as a this, as a, like, I think you will easily be that.
But who are these people?
Huh?
Who are these people?
Who? I mean, I think, you know, I think it's, I can definitely name some personalities that I think are that in their own field. But I think it's very dependent on, like, you know, it's dependent on your skills, your talent, you know, because the people that you're talking about, they are a once in a lifetime talent.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not to be rude, but people in our generation have to reach that caliber level, you know. So I think, you know, most people are probably not there. But I in my head, there are definitely some people who I consider larger than life. And I'm very sort of inspired by them, because, you know, to be honest, like, this idea of being overly relatable, like, I'm not the biggest fan, right? Because I think media, and to your point, pivoting, I think media is supposed to be aspirational, Cody. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so if you look at even just my content, the way my brand is presented, being a go-getter, I'm not presenting you as the version that you are. I am selling the highest, best, most motivated version of yourself, which in many ways is better looking than you, is hotter than you, is sexier than you, is richer than you. Is, so I'm a big believer of, like, the Michael Jackson and Elvis form of sort of that larger than life, you know, persona, because I just think that's really aspirational, you know. And I think that if your content and voice is overly relatable and overly simple, I think you get taken for granted. That's just my, which is why you see my imagery, and it's not just me, even when I start featuring other people, and when I do, everything is like, I live for the stage, you know. So my style is very much the older entertainers of past style, which
Sure.
is sort of very larger than life and aspirational and
Sure.
out there and big. And I actually don't enjoy being so like, oh my God, she's my neighbor, because I think that it destroys the, like,
The fantasy of it.
yes,
I get it. I
the
get it.
the aspiration of it, the
The
aspiration
aspiration
of
of
it.
it.
Yeah.
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 I get it. I get aspiration. I get clouded optics,
Yes.
right? And,
Yes.
and trying to create something that obviously is the best, highest form of oneself, right? Very
Yes. Yes.
temporary glean.
Yes.
Sustainability.
Yes.
I don't. I mean, obviously, I think it has had its mark, and obviously there's still success in it. And you could argue that that's everyone's goal in some aspect. I mean, that's why people work out. I mean, there's a whole lot.
Yes.
Aspiration, hope is the basis. I feel like of most movement, right? Hope
Yes.
is everything. Some might argue hope is not a strategy, though.
Yes.
But it is powerful. It's without doubt or debate that hope is powerful. In this creation of aspiration, where is the how do you say, where do you differentiate between the loftiness of it, right? Like, this is where you want to be. This is why you need to own this car, right? I would say the end goal, the loftiness of it, and taking the person on the journey to get there, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that?
Yeah. So Cody, again, just to recap, my brand is about helping dreamers become go-getters. It is to become a go-getter. I think how I balance that in my sort of executive coaching, sales coaching, small business content coaching is, I will paint a very clear picture of your goals. And if your goal is to own a car, and actually you're catching me at the perfect time, Cody, because I am sort of pivoting towards bigger, not only B2B business clients, but starting my brand journey, right? In the sense of partnering with brands, sponsorships, keynote, television. I want to do all of it, right? So thinking about which brands I want to collaborate with, why, and so these are all questions that I've been asking, right? So basically, if I'm selling a computer, I am already sort of thinking about why would Cody need a new Surface or Mac, right? But I think somewhere my answer is it has to directly align with your goals, right? So it's this idea, if Cody follows me, right, and he is a go-getter or aspiring go-getter, and he wants to build a company, then he definitely needs the newest, greatest, most awesome computer. And so in that situation, if I partner with a Microsoft or an Apple, now that makes sense in terms of me selling a computer, right, to the Codys of the world, right? And so I think that's kind of how I look at like aspiration and loftiness and materialism. But you also know that there will be partnerships that I am excited about because they are luxury and they are a real aspiration, right? For my audience, that's a first generation college student buying his first Rolex. Now, you could say that, oh, you don't need a Rolex. And I agree. But at the same time, that is part of the American dream. And, that's the kind of messaging that I really want to drive in the media. So as I'm now thinking about the kinds of brands that I want to partner with and create content for, and maybe even feature in those like commercials and whatever, like that's kind of where my head is at. So it's sort of this balanced approach of practicality, but also like, bitch, I made it,
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And I think that's more than fair. I think one of the things that I don't follow everyone. I follow individuals that challenge me, inspire, but also at the same time I think have a good grasp on who they are and a balance, right? Because you don't want to drink all the Kool-Aid, right?
Oh my God.
Right.
You're gonna like burst.
Right. And something that I think you stated, and one of the things I really appreciate about the content that you make and what you post is, yes, as it is aspirational, as it is, this is a transformative experience. I want you to get this, and I want you to get here. I'm reaching out to the go-getters, those that really have that innate drive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's also this, because I've noticed you'll also post a very like, Tuesday, not feeling well, I'll check back in. And it's one of those, it's almost one of those like, I wish I could do that, because it's like, even though we all have those moments, the courage to present that balance. Like, yeah, aspiration is not vanity. Yeah. Aspiration is something that every human being should have so that they can propel themselves.
Yes.
Forward. What gives you the confidence to even post those moments?
Yeah. I think something that I'm very cognizant of, Cody, is the people who follow me, a vast majority, Cody, is first generation college, first generation American. So people who have struggled a lot to be here, first generation Black, educated or whatever, I have people following me that are descendants of slaves, one of the first generations to be literate. I mean, these are real stories. And so it's this idea that life is harder for us. I mean, that's not an opinion, that's a fact. So I think that is me sort of giving voice to, hey, I mean, this climb is not equal for us.
No, it's not.
And it's exhausting. And today I'm tired, and that's okay. Because I think so much of the immigrant, person of color, minority content is hustle till you die, basically, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of, work harder. Anytime I talk to someone, they always tell me, they're like, you should like put in more hours, get more, like it's literally always about work more. So then I realized I should be doing the opposite, right? Which is prioritizing rest, saying I'm tired, saying I can't do this, right? Practicing boundaries. You've seen me talk a lot recently about how go-getters should have stronger boundaries. And so it is sort of me going the opposite of a lot of the advice that I receive.
Yeah.
Where I am like, there's no way that this is good advice, So yeah, I mean, I think in general, I'm confident in who I am. I'm confident in the truth. I think similar to you, I'm also very God driven. And so it's this idea that I know what I'm saying is correct.
Yeah.
I know that I'm not supposed to work myself to death.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have no problems, saying that, hey, I have a headache, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I have had enough because because I think somewhere I am trying to normalize it for Cody and, Shevelin and Alicia and Keisha and all of these Black women, Indian women, Iranian women, to say I'm tired. Yeah.
So do you feel like, and I don't know we're running out of time, and I really appreciate you because I think we're really starting to open Pandora's box. Do you think that, you hear about the algorithm, right?
Yeah.
Like the algorithm blocks certain things. Do you think, because honestly, you do, you go against the grain, you post and you have a strategy behind it. You're not guessing, right? I've never seen you have a guest post, even on LinkedIn. Like, it's very tailored. It's scientific. It's not like I'm guessing, hey, look, like it's tailored and structured. Do you think though that the platforms that exist allow your voice to be heard the way it needs to be heard?
I think so, Cody. But I mean, in general, look, I mean, do I think I should have 500,000 followers on LinkedIn? Yes. Do I have 500,000? No. So I think that question, I mean, I think I should go viral anytime I open my mouth. Sure. But, I guess that doesn't happen. And so I think that way I'm quite practical in that, I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for what I can get. Having said that, one thing I'm being very strategic about is systematizing the audience, Cody. So like I mentioned, I am the sort of most popular with youth of color.
Yeah.
Africa, Latin America, Asia, not even African American as much as like Africa, so so I mean, I think those are my people. I am going 500 miles an hour towards them, and the numbers are what the numbers are, and the algorithm is what it is. And I think at the end of the day, I can't get too obsessed with that, because if you think about it, I mean, there's millions and millions of internet users. To be honest, I should have 800 million followers. I guess no one does.
Right.
From that angle, I've sort of given up on that fight, right? So it's this idea that I will have what I have, and I think then my job is more like the nerd and industrial engineer in me, where I'm like, but I need to monetize this properly, right? So I think more than me being like, I should have more views and more followers, I think now I'm getting serious about, well, this can make a lot more money than it is right now, So I think but see, so if you were to be honest with me, like, that's the game I get more sucked into, is the monetization game, because I know that whatever I have is worth a lot more than what I'm even pulling in now,
Look, I believe it. I know I didn't cut to this is so good. I forgot to cut to a sponsor. I totally threw my whole trajectory off. Let me cut to a sponsor and I'll be back.
There's a hero in all of us waiting to be unleashed. All it takes is just that one last push. Activate the hero within with CVMK Global Supplements. All natural, steroid-free, designed to enhance performance, build muscle, and increase energy. You are unstoppable. You can do this. Become your own hero at www.cvmkglobal.store.
Y'all, www.cvnkglobal.store. I got with me The Way. As you can see right here, look, the best way, the best protein. We rebranded just for y'all, just to match the Jordan 11s, because it is The Way. 110 calories, 25 grams of protein. You don't know what you're missing. I'm about to drink some right after this. The Way. Get it today, www.cvnkglobal.store. Use code The Way for 15% off. So I think one of the uniqueness, and I'll close with this, because I know we're coming to an end, that separates you from a lot of individuals, is that as much as you understand the higher reach, right, the aspiration, the higher reach, that I think everybody does, right? Everybody tries to, in some way, shape. I don't say that they're successful at it. I'm just saying that everybody, effort-wise, in some way.
Yes.
What they don't have, what you do have, is the understanding of how to align it with values and how to create value for other people by doing it. Yeah. And I think because you're a value creator, right? Mm-hmm. Go-getters, because you saw the value in yourself, you want to bring the value in others.
Right.
It creates the universe that you exist in.
Right.
So that's, to me, and obviously as your brand increases and you become the Taylor Swifts, the rocks of the road, and you get 300 million Instagram followers, and hopefully one day I'll be invited to a DOS Media Group content creation, little old me.
No, you're not little. Listen, you're a go-getter, right? I mean, that's, so.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. But I think that's the game changer. And what I think there's, everybody gravitates toward whatever for different reasons, right? And it's not us to decide on the reason; it's us to provide the reasons, right? So that's the key. But last question, and then we close out. The next shift, right? DOS Media Group 2024. Yeah. What is that shift for you?
Yeah. So, I think what we have done an amazing job of, Cody, and, when I say we, it has been me sort of as a solopreneur for the last 4 years. Before that, I did have a team and kind of let everybody go to figure out the next direction. I would say what I'm really proud of, Cody, through our customer engagement consulting, sales consulting, executive coaching, small business content coaching. Again, what I am doing day in and day out, Cody, for many, many clients is content creation, right? Audience acquisition, right? Path to sale, advising, right? So basically, DAS media, define your audience, acquire your audience, sell to your audience, right? And it's a system that I'm very, very proud of because it is so widely applicable to every single go-getter who comes our way, right? Whether it is an individual, an executive who wants to build a thought leadership brand, a small business, who's not happy with their brand right now because they're not converting properly, their audience sucks, or a company that is struggling to retain Black talent, because their messaging and vibe is off. Right. And so, I'm super proud of the system that I've built. I think 2024 will be all about just massive, massive scale, and we're already in those conversations right now with realty groups, real estate individuals. I just met with a roofing company. I mean, you're seeing us really go into different industries that we've never been in and showing you that the system that I've built is applicable to every single one. From personal fitness, I just signed a local gym franchise, to help with their sort of branding, all the way up to today. I just signed a former New York Jets athlete, right, to help him rebrand. Right. And so I think what you're going to see is the system that I've built is widely, widely applicable to so many different industries and so many different use cases. And each of them, to your point, I think what I'm most proud of is that we are truly helping dreamers become go-getters. Through working with me, they are realizing their message. They are connecting with their message. They're aligning themselves with their purpose, to your point. They are able to identify their audience because of my advising, and they're really building a path to sale. And they're like, oh my gosh, I can make money. I have made money. So it is something that strikes me that, when they come to me, it's almost like a Statue of Liberty situation for like hungry, broken. I'm serious. I mean, it's not a very pretty situation when I find them. Yeah. But after I'm done with them, it really is a transformation where they are truly a go-getter. I mean, they are driven, they are ambitious, they are goal-oriented, they are happier. So I think, me changing my life and making it as a motivational speaker and business owner is great. And I'm truly grateful as an immigrant. But I think the real ROI, you nailed it, is getting that out of other people, and truly changing their game, because they've rebranded, they've built new brands, and it's energy. I'm selling positive, motivational energy. And I mean, you can see that their whole vibe has changed, their outlook has changed, so I think I am most proud of that, because getting that out of someone, that transformation from literally dreamer to go-getter, is not easy. And I would say most people cannot achieve that for other people, So I think I'm actually very, very proud of that. And it never gets old, whether it is an individual client or a business, that has been transformed through working with me. I mean, I have technology executives that never posted on LinkedIn ever in their life. Literally the other day, he's like thousands of impressions. I mean, he's so happy, because he's 50. So never in his life, right? And at 50, his first posts have thousands of impressions, basically because of us, right? So I mean, that's what you're going to see. I think 2024, the one word is scale. I mean, you're just going to see crazy amount of scale. I'm hiring out my team again. I am removing myself from delivery. I'm going to be selling full time. And, I think you'll see us really touch, I mean, from personal fitness to real estate to moving to, I mean, which is really exciting to me. I mean, I have never explored that many industries before,
I like it. And the word for 2024, and I do agree with you, is scale. And I believe you're going to scale significantly. Just remember us little people as you scale. I know. I've been there. You know, I'm being mine, but I support you and all that you do. Shinjini, where can they connect with you? Where can the people follow you?
Yeah, Speaker Shinjini. Speaker Shinjini is my handle on all platforms. And I think one thing I will say, when I started Cody, I was motivational speaker, and I think that was my focus. I think now I'm letting the business be the focus. And I feel like as a result of working with a whole bunch of realtors, I can probably speak at the Realtors Association of Nebraska annual conference, and I think that now, like, I don't have to try so hard to speak first, So I think that is happening a lot more naturally. And again, something that I'm really proud of. Still, minority keynote speakers are very rare. Minority women are rarer.
Yeah. So. I believe it. Y'all connect with Shinjini. Hit her up, all her handles. Follow her. She's amazing. She's puts out amazing things that you need to connect. She is a go-getter in this generation's voice of truth and aspiration. She's a true leader. Y'all, you want to keep seeing amazing stuff? You know what you got to do. YouTube, CVMK. Look, we have crossed over. We're growing. Over 5,000 followers. Instagram, we're over 30,000. I'm telling you, you catch the wave, catch the vibe. Instagram at CVMK_global. It is what it is _show. And of course, CVMK33. When you really know me, you know. And until next time, guys. Thanks.
If you think exercise alone got me looking like this, well, think again. CVMK Global Super Thick got me right. I'm obsessed, and yeah, I won't stop talking about it because it helped me grow in all the right places. Its creatine provides a fast and reliable way to increase your power, size, and shape, and it's scientifically proven to help you reach your physical goals in a safe, controlled manner. So if you want to increase muscle size, pump, and thickness in your muscle groups, you need Super Thick.